Hey guys, it's Taz101 Saga. I was feeling goofy today, but I'm also feeling in an informative mood. And I've got a video, and no, this is not a gimmick, it's 100% true. Video on how to make your GHK AK shoot in a straight line. Is this guy some kind of joker? No, I'm not a joker. A lot of people have this problem. They get a GHK AK, and they have a problem with the stock hop-up, either not being consistent or not applying enough hop. Today I'm going to show you how to fix that problem. Now, it's not exactly a DIY thing, it's actually an aftermarket upgrade. It's an extremely good one, and it's definitely worth getting. But as is, when you get the GHK, the hop-up it actually uses is a rotary style. The stock nub on the GHK is very small, and it doesn't apply a whole lot of backspin, and that's a problem I've had with mine since I've got it. I did sort of fix it by putting in a maple leaf unit. And the problem I have with that is it's still a rotary design, so I've gone away from that. Because it was fantastic, when you got it zeroed in, it would shoot perfectly good to about 70 metres, deadly straight. Same as it is now, only now it does it all the time. But I was finding that particularly the heavier recoiling bolt I've got by FG was causing so much recoil that it was actually adjusting the dial. I could see the shots would randomly go up or down after a magazine or two. On full auto it was even quicker. Those are the problems I've been having. Right, so what actually is this part? Well, it's made by a company in France called FG-Airsoft. You can find the guy who runs it, Francois, on Facebook. He's very good at replying to questions and message inboxes very quickly. So he's a good guy to add, actually. I've got his adjustable nozzle and the heavy recoil kit that I use when it's a bit warmer. So they're a very good company for upgrade parts. I absolutely recommend them through and through. Anything by them is good. However, the single thing I bought from them is this hop-up chamber. Now, I'll show you how it's actually different. The first thing you have to do is strip the gun down. You do have to partially, well, I mean at the most you have to take the mag out and the cover off to adjust it in the field. Some people have suggested it's a bit annoying because you have to strip the whole gun. You really don't, they just don't have any imagination. So, you just strip the gun down. Take the carrier out, which I'll lay that over there, out of the dust preferably. Right, and you will see here, that's the new hop-up chamber, and obviously the plastic chamber face, which is a stock piece, is bolted in front of it. Now I'm running a stock barrel and a Madbull 60-degree blue bucking, which isn't the best bucking in the world as far as overall buckings go, but in this gun it's absolutely fine. I mean, I've got it to the point where I'm happy with this gun, how this gun's shooting, so I'm just not going to touch it anymore. Right, these two screws here, they are adjustable via an Allen tool, which is not provided as far as I remember. It's quite a small one, I don't remember the dimensions, but if you just buy a small set you'll be able to do it on the field. I do recommend using an Allen key that's its own key, not a multi-tool, because that is very difficult to actually fit in around the carrier. And it's very similar to the SRS hop-up on the sniper rifle, where you have, there's no actual nub, it's just two ball screws that are controlled by, well, the positioning is controlled by how much you adjust those, and they go directly to the hop-up bucking, so there's no nub system. Although this is good, it's versatile, it will work with concave style nubs or a PDIW or just a standard type surface, which I've got in at the moment with the Madbull. As far as I know, and Francois actually tells me from our conversations, that it should actually theoretically work with any type of bucking, because even something like a maple leaf, which is a concave shape, you've got the points are pushing down on the two sides of the surface rather than directly in the middle, which was the problem with the standard GHK nub. It's quite small. Classroom time. Right, say this is the hop-up chamber as you're looking into, down the barrel. What you normally have on a GHK is you have a very small nub, and it's literally, well, obviously it'd be above the chamber, it's literally only about that wide. Not very good, and that's roughly to scale. The reason this thing is different, actually, is because you have two ball screws. And in terms of hop-ups, you normally just have a straight surface like that comes down. Although you can get stuff like a maple leaf, which is more of this shape, but you'll see something like that in the chamber. Although it'll probably be wider than that most likely, depending on how much you have it down. What this thing does is it doesn't actually come through, but you have two screws, ball screws, that are kind of like in this affair. So what this actually does is when you have your, say, a normal hop-up, which will just be like that, is actually putting equal pressure down on both sides instead of just in the middle if you had your normal just little GHK nub. And that's why this is effective, if you get what I'm saying, because it's kind of a bit like the SRS. I think he's based it heavily upon that. I will show you how you actually adjust it in just a moment. But that's how it works. You have the two screws. And you don't have a hop-up nub, they just go directly to the rubber. And the good thing about having ball screws as well, it's not susceptible to recoil either. And it won't adjust because you're not actually using a rubber nub on the bucking. Obviously the temperature can still affect the bucking, but it's not actually going to affect the nub. These also won't be affected by recoil, as I say, because you don't have a dial on the outside. It's actually done by Allen key up there like that. So they will stay where they are, and they're fairly stiff. They're not going to move in recoil. I've not had any problems with them moving. It takes quite a while to get it right, but once you do, it's very consistent, and you're not going to have any problems. It also fixes left and right issue. If you've got a gun that slightly curves to the right, you can loosen the right and put the left down more, and then you'll bring the trajectory back level. I don't have a problem with that with mine. Just make sure you've got your front sight adjusted at the right height as well. You always want to look down the side of the gun. When you're doing a hop-up, look down the side. Don't use the sights. Look down the side and make sure you're actually getting a straight trajectory in line with the barrel. And then you can work out where your sights need to be. Right, so how do you actually adjust this on the fly? And can you do it in the field? Yes, you absolutely can. That's not as convenient as having a turn dial like with an M4 and stuff like that. But what you want to do is preferably do this in the dead zone. Take your mag out, you cover it off, and if you really want to make it easier, you can take your recoil spring out. Personally, I don't. Now, if you pull it back to there, I'll show you that on the camera, you'll be able to see there's your screw balls there. Now what you can do, as long as you pull this back to about there, you can just hold that all the way back. The narrow point of the piston doesn't come out of the gas tube obviously, but you can hold that back. You can actually adjust each one like that. So you don't have to take the whole gun apart. I see people like someone said on the review, it's a shame you have to take the whole gun apart. You do not have to take the whole gun apart. You can just hold that back and it will fit around. Just make sure you got the right size key so you can fit around the carrier. First time I adjusted it, I left it as it was, and they were sort of rainbowing out because there was no hop, and they were dribbling out if you put the barrel like that. So that means you don't have enough hop on. So I put it on a little bit more, and actually I went a little too far, and this hop-up chamber will easily over-hop 2 8s and 3s. So if it's over-hopping 2 8s and 3s, that way you know you can get a straight line out of it. You've just got to make it work. It took me probably over a day overall to actually get it exactly where it should be. Also, it was a brand new bucking, so it wasn't worn in. You will get the hang of it. Don't worry if it doesn't work straight away, because I was a little sceptical when I first tried it. I thought, right, well, it's either under-hopping or over-hopping. I can't seem to get it to shoot in a straight line, but you just got to somewhat break it in. I suppose it depends what bucking you got. That's going to affect, and your air temperature as well. That's going to affect how quickly or how well it works. But I've been using this in about 15-16 degrees. This is the standard bolt carrier. I do have the heavier one. I haven't tested it with that, but I can't imagine that's going to make any difference to a trajectory at all. But so far it's been absolutely wonderful. I absolutely recommend that hop-up by FG. And personally, just want to say, Francois, thank you so much, because it took me over a year to get a hop on this that would actually stay set where I put it. Trying to keep this consistent has been a nightmare. It's an awesome gun like otherwise. It's just the only real problem that you have when you get it, if you have the hop-up issue, is just trying to keep it stable. It's so difficult because, like I said, after about a mag or two it would move again. Then I'd have to hold the bolt back, adjust it back a little. Then it'd be fine for another 2 mags. But I was constantly having to adjust the dial, and it just got really annoying. but now I found a permanent fix. You don't have to tinker this once you got it shooting straight. It's brilliant. So I can't comment how well it works with the stock GHK bucking because I've never used the stock GHK buckings. Everyone recommended to change it out, so I did. I just took the advice. So I can't comment on that. But using a Madbull blue 60 degree, it's been absolutely fine. That's with the stock barrel with the bridge cut off because I did have a maple leaf. So absolutely recommend it. It's been brilliant so far, and I'm enjoying this gun even more now. It's fun now because now I can actually hit people reliably as well as just enjoy the recoil. One little story then about this from last weekend. There's somebody at least about 60-70 metres, because I know that ravine that's in the middle where I play at between the trenches and the chapel is a good 60-70 metres to the other side. And actually I saw a fella who was walking up there. I just waited for him to get to about the middle. I just went boom, and it hit him straight on the back. Easy, exactly where I was aiming. And he was quite small in my sight. And he got there nice and quick as well, because this thing's just under 350. Got the nozzle set. So that was just a one shot, one kill. I wouldn't have been able to achieve that with any sort of consistency before I had this hop up. So yeah, a little story there how it does work. It's very good. If you got any questions or comments, please feel free to post as always. And I'll see you in the next bit of material. And also feel free to rate, comment, subscribe if you wish. Thanks for watching.